What's up, guys? I am back once again. I got some Battlefield 4 gameplay going for you. The maps that you're seeing here are from the new DLC, Dragon's Teeth. I'll be giving my little 2 cents on the maps themselves, but also, like in the title says, I'll be giving my final thoughts on the game, from DLCs to the actual game itself, and kind of what frustrates me about this game. But I'll save that for last because it's pretty lengthy, and every time I seem to talk about it, it kind of irritates me even more. But anyways, Dragon's Teeth. The DLC is probably not one of the better DLCs from Battlefield itself, from DICE itself, I should probably say. But it feels good. It has a very unique and style to it. Something that's, I can't quite put my finger on it, to how to describe it. It seems like it's taking elements from many different games, or many different maps, I should say. Of course, they also have a new game mode, a chain link, which is very interesting. I've heard a lot of mixed comments on the map itself. I've played it. I'm kind of mixed on it too. It plays good in some maps, and it plays kind of okay in other maps. But what you mainly see here is domination, where a lot of people are like really saying the maps seem to be really good in domination. And I have to agree, is that the maps do play really well in domination. Haven't played any other game modes outside of just domination, some standard conquest and chain link since I've got the DLC. But map design seems very different between all 4 maps, of course. Very vertical in some maps. You know, objectives are recently spread apart depending on your game mode that you like, but in some game modes it's pretty much like they're just right on top of each other. Constant combat, I mean, just chaos everywhere, hard to keep control, you know, things like that. Constant chaos, it feels like. But it's good. I definitely had a lot of fun playing them. I still will continue to play them. Kind of got me excited to play a little bit more about, you know, Battlefield itself. But overall, though, if you are looking to pick these up, I would recommend probably my favorite one, which was Second Assault, because mainly the Second Assault maps were, or Battlefield 3 maps, which is Second Assault maps, normally were really good designed, between just every aspect between, you know, combat itself. And I really did like Battlefield 3 maps. Not the 4 in Second Assault, but overall I would take Battlefield 3 maps over Battlefield 4 maps. But overall, though, Dragon's Teeth comes in a good solid second place, especially with how, like I said, the maps they feel different. They're new to me so far, but they're good. I recommend them if you are going to pick these up. If you haven't got any of the DLC, or you don't have Battlefield Premium, I would recommend picking these up. They're real good. But anywho, let's move on to the frustrating part of this conversation, and real frustrating part it is. As you guys know, Battlefield 4 has been out for quite some time now. It launched last year in November, and since then, it's been plagued with constant issues on just about every platform it was released for, and it was really off-putting to a lot of people. I've known plenty of people, Battlefield vets, that have played since the very start of the Battlefield franchise, and have completely got frustrated with Battlefield 4 and have quit playing the game in general, have spent tons of money on Battlefield related items, between premium and the game itself to any other special editions that people get out there, if there is any, and have thrown it away, traded it in, have not had anything to do with it since, you know, the game was released, practically, because of just the overall frustration that people are having with this game. And it's not the game itself, it's DICE and EA. And the more frustrating part about it for me is, you know, I can understand that making a game can take some time. I understand that it's probably pretty difficult. I understand that. But there's a point in a game's development cycle that somebody have to make that decision of, are we going to delay, or are we going to launch the game as is and hope for, you know, maybe a patch or an update or something along the lines. Mainly though, people who decide to delay are the people who go, or like, just they realize that their launch date is 3 months away and they're just not ready for it. The game is just constantly having problems, and they go for a delay. And normally it's a very wise choice doing a delay, but it can be a very costly decision considering you're probably throwing another 6 months into the development cycle. Then plus with advertising that you probably put out beforehand to get the game, super hyped up for anything that you've done. It can be very costly doing a delay. Then plus you got your investors also in it who are, putting money behind the game too, and they get rarely upset because they want to see a return on their money pretty quickly. But then there's also the other side where people go for launch, and when people go for a launch and the game is still not fixed, normally though the game is, well, somewhat at very acceptable standards. Maybe a few bugs here and there, nothing majorly game breaking, but there are just those occasions where people just miss something and they have to fix, and normally they have a quick turnaround and they get it fixed. And I can understand that because quality teams are normally very small in a developing team. They only can get probably a few hundred hours into a game itself, and when you add in a multiplayer experience, it makes it just a little bit harder, more of a challenge, because you got more maps to deal with, you got more elements to deal with, guns and stuff like that, the whole 9 yards. But when Battlefield was released, something was wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that the game was good, but I'm saying it was what was their mindset when they released the game in that state? That's where I'm getting at. Is the game was pretty much unplayable for pretty much every console and PC that it was released for. I mean, there are a few occasions where people were saying they were reporting they weren't having any issues. I know for a fact that when the game first came out, it handled fine for a day for me, and then it pretty much was just non-stop crashes to frame rates to all other kinds of stuff. Collision detection was another one, terrible netcode, and all that. I mean, it was just pretty bad, and I was sitting there and I was shocked. I was kind of really upset because, at that point, I've already paid for premium. I've already paid $60 into a game. I already paid additional $50 into some DLC that I have quite yet not got my hands on. And I was just confused that I just spent, close to over $100 into this game. That now that it's just unplayable, and it stayed pretty unplayable for quite some time, and even some of the players now still argue that the game still suffers major issues. And certainly when I was playing this DLC, I could definitely still see some lingering issues from me being well into cover and getting shot while into cover, and it just doesn't seem right. The game has problems. I'm not going to deny that, even though I do enjoy the franchise, but it's just irritating. And that's mainly where most people are at with the game, is that it's frustrating. It's constantly frustrating because the game is good. You can see the potential and the idea they had about the game in the game. You can see it. You can grasp it. You can understand the concept of what they try to put out there, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's just out of reach at people's hands. It's at their fingertips, and it's frustrating because you get to that point, and it's nope, they yank it away. And it's aggravating because every time they were constantly saying, oh, we've got updates, we've got, improved stability, we've fixed, whatever problem, and yet though I'm sitting here playing it, when I'm hearing this good news, I'm sitting here okay, they fixed a lot of stuff, I'm gonna go play it, and it's not fixed. I got an update, I see the update, but it's not fixed. It's still there. It's still lingering over us. Why is this happening? That's constantly the frustration that I was having, was that You know, they would release something and say that we fixed this, and it wasn't fixed. And then they would be working on issues that really weren't an issue. You know, I mean, sure, it could have been an issue later on down the road, but the overall goal you should have had out to begin with was to get the game to work on for just to get it to run. Because, people would sit there and play probably about 5 minutes into a match, get kicked out, or console would lock up, or it would crash, or something along the lines. You know, I at one point, I almost had a very, very urging feeling to just rip the game out of the console and snap it in half. Because I was frustrated, because I wanted to play it. Because it just came out. I enjoy the game. I can see it. Like I said, I could see the concept, but it was just aggravating and frustrating because you know that you're better. You know, I'm not a bad player. I can hold my own. I really can. That's not me gloating. You know, I'm not no big tourney fan. I have a good KD ratio. You know, I'm an okay player. But when you're just constantly getting tanked every time, you're getting your face pushed in, kicked in the dirt, and you're just wondering that you're better than this, but yet though it won't let you because you sit there, you think you're behind cover, and you're not. You are getting instant killed from across the way. You're getting shot by a guy, and when you die, you're wanting to know what he shot you with, and it's showing that you weren't shot by a guy when you know you were, but in the kill screen, it shows that you were killed by a tank. Or that was, halfway across the map inside of a building. It's things like that were mainly frustrating. And then they constantly try to go, oh, we're fixing. Oh, we got the DLCs coming out. Here's the DLC, play. And then you sit there and play the DLC and you go, I can't play because you haven't fixed the game yet. And then they go, oh, okay, we're going to stop production on DLC and we're going to put all our focus into the game. And, a month later, here comes the DLC with no updates. Okay, that's not what you said to us. It's just this constant misguiding that they were trying to do. It was like they were wanting to turn a blind eye to it. They didn't want to fully, stand up for their mistake. They didn't want to commit to it. They didn't want to go, okay, it's not my fault, it's his fault, or it's nobody's fault. We don't know what you're talking about. Because that's basically what it is. People were they were doing Q's and A's. People were constantly asking why this game was crashing, and they weren't answering. Things like that. And that's basically where it really failed. The game didn't fail. It's the people that were up there going, just basically saying, we don't know what you're talking about. Of course, people, the community did stand up for themselves, and investors launched an investigation for fraud on EA for, basically lying and tons of other stuff. But, all in all, though, the game at its current state right now, which it should have been a lot sooner, is definitely at a more playable level. It seems to be working more smoothly. I haven't had crashes at all since a few months, but I still get constant frame issues, netcode issues, some collision detection issues when I know I've shot somebody, or I know that, I know there's nothing there that's blocking me, yet though it seems to be either slowing me down or something like that. It's just the game needs more stability. I would take this game now at launch versus if I would have known what I was going to buy 6 months ago. Actually, it's about 7 months ago. Yeah, about 7 months ago. I wouldn't have dared pick this game up because I had just over 300 hours in Battlefield 3. I played it every day I came home. I played at least a few hours here and there when I came home because it was just a fun, relaxing game for me to play. I barely have probably even 100 hours, maybe even less than that. Maybe, I think probably less than that in Battlefield 4. Because it's just frustrating. I'm off-put about the game. It's sad to say because I do enjoy the game. I do enjoy the franchise. They make decent stuff. but it just now I'm undecided on it because Battlefield Hardline came up. I played the beta. I was still kind of turned from the whole Battlefield stuff. I was still kind of angry and pissed off, and I'm still kind of angry and pissed off about it because I spent a lot of good money on a product that I could have used somewhere else, But, if you do enjoy the game, this is the overall point. If you do enjoy it, then don't let somebody like me deter you from not playing it. I do enjoy it. I play it occasionally, but I only managed to put in maybe 2 or 3 rounds, and I'm done with it. Versus I would put in a couple of dozen rounds a day. But if you enjoy it and you notice that you go, okay, like I said, I'm getting this mixed up. Sorry. If you do enjoy it, like I said, don't let somebody like me, deter you from not playing it. You just gotta understand that, we have our opinions too. Something like that. I don't know. I've been talking way too much. But either way, if you do, like I said, if you do enjoy it, play it, have fun with it, good for you guys. But for those people who are kind of still angry and upset, I'm one of you guys as well. But either way, like I said, I'm still talking too much. I gotta go. But with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope to see you in the next one. And please, take care.